All right, we're getting to our very last skill, so congratulations. One more 4-minute video. This will go real quick. This is called antithesis. Antithesis is a very fancy sounding word. It is the adult term for what kindergartners call opposites. So good is the opposite of bad, nice is the opposite of mean, etc., etc. I think that this is something that you guys are capable of. So Shakespeare loves using these. Any Shakespeare passage that you will see is going to have a bunch of different hidden opposites through there. And they're usually used to explain a problem the character is working through, or to explain one of the main thematic things that's going on in the passage. So let me just explain what I mean by that by looking at the exact same passage that we have been looking at in all these other videos. So as we know, Macbeth has informed his wife that Duncan is spending the night at their house. Lady Macbeth is plotting the murder of Duncan. A couple opposites that we see are right away. We see comes and goes. Duncan comes here tonight. When does he go? Why is that emphasized in that line? Well, that is the question. When does he go? The implication is that Duncan is coming at here, but he is not going out. So it's not an accident that Shakespeare throws that opposite in there, because the question of Duncan coming and never going is an important one. The difference between tonight and tomorrow is also an interesting opposite that he throws in, because tonight is the night, right? After this night, everything will change tomorrow. So part of the reason that Shakespeare is bringing out that opposite is because this is the pivotal moments, not only in the play, but in their entire lives, right? Up until now, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have not been murderers. Suddenly they are murderers. Suddenly they are king and queen, if everything goes according to plan. So the gap between tonight and tomorrow is a really big one, an important one. A couple more important ones that you will see. We have flower and serpent. This is maybe not strictly an opposites, but flower, something that is nice, something that is pretty and non-threatening and harmless, versus a serpent, right? Something that does damage, something that is malicious and not innocent at all. And this emphasizes, as we've talked about in the other videos, the key opposite of this passage, which is look one way and be another. So look versus be, we have the main opposites, where Lady Macbeth is saying, as we talked about, listen, Macbeth, you gotta look one way, you gotta have these perfect manners, you gotta convince the king that you are a good guy, but then you gotta be a serpent underneath it. You gotta look like a flower, but be a snake. And then, of course, nights and days as well, which shall to all our nights and days to come. This is sort of an antithesis thrown in there at the end. So this pretty much concludes all the things that you need to look for in a given Shakespeare passage. They are all on their surface extremely simplistic. Everyone knows what an opposite is. But the larger question you have to ask once you've found the opposite is, what does the fact that that opposite exists tell us about what Shakespeare's trying to say with this passage? Why is it significant, the difference between tonight and tomorrow, the difference between coming and going, the difference between looking one way and being another? Those are the more critical thinking questions that you need to answer at that point. So this concludes our final skill lesson for this section. Thank you.